Trisha Paytas is dragging Buzzfeed, David Dobrik is getting kicked out of parties, and Trisha Paytas has made up with Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, and Ethan, but not David. It's a mess, so let's get into it.
Exposed. Exposed. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
So let's start off with Trisha Paytas. Trisha uploaded episode 3 of their Enemies podcast, which honestly, I really didn't even think we would make it this far. In this week's episode, Trisha actually gave us an update on the whole Buzzfeed situation. You see, a few months ago, a Buzzfeed article came out where this journalist went and interviewed Gabby Hanna, and it caused a lot of drama. Gabby talked about the highs and lows of her career online and mentioned that Trisha Paytas played a part in ruining her career. Imagine you had a friend 6 years ago who, to this day, is contacting your employers, contacting everyone you know, and trying to ruin your reputation. She told me, referring in part to Paytas. Well, it turns out Trisha Paytas also did an interview with this exact same journalist. She came over to Trisha's house, interviewed them and their entire family, and apparently everything went fine. Trisha said when she left though, everyone kind of had a funny feeling. The journalist kept asking Trisha questions about Gabby Hanna, even though Trisha made it clear that they didn't want to be mentioned next to Gabby in any article. As we can see, that didn't end up happening. After Gabby's article came out, Trisha went off on a huge rant and pleaded that Buzzfeed no longer runs their article after putting their name next to Gabby in Gabby's article. Well, looks like that's not gonna happen either. On this week's podcast, Trisha said this journalist is still messaging them, asking invasive questions, contacting Trisha's family, and crossing boundaries after Trisha told them not to contact them anymore.
I write her on my birthday because I had such bad anxiety that night. I just had that feeling. I wrote to her. I said, "Hi, Scotchy. Wonderful meeting you." I posted all the receipts on my Twitter. Yeah, thank you again for coming out to interview me. I really felt honored. It was a nice chat. Because again, it's nice. If people want to interview me, it's nice. I just wanted to email this morning to ask that if my story is published, to please omit anything about Gabby Hanna. While you believe her to be a troll, she really affected my mental health back in January when I did her podcast, when she tried to convince me things happened when they absolutely did not. Parentheses, triggered many schizophrenic episodes for me after. It was something about that she kept asking, try to be like, oh, Gabby's like you. She just trolls people. She's in control of it. Her boyfriend's fine. He's there opening the door. Like, everything's good. This is just what she does to get attention.
Trisha said even during the interview, the journalist was crossing boundaries. Trisha's whole family was over for their birthday, and the journalist apparently took that as an open door to interview the whole family. I guess some sensitive topics were brought up because Trisha claims their mom was in tears trying to get through the whole interview. The journalist also made comments about Moses being quiet, and Trisha said that's because he had a really bad feeling. Trisha then emailed the journalist one last time and said, "Do not email me ever again." And once again, that didn't happen either.
She writes to me yesterday. I wanted to get back in touch now because we're wrapping up the editing process on the profile. I want to make sure it has to be the most up-to-date information in it. Would you be willing to get back on the phone with me? I knew a few things have changed in your life. It would be great to comment. I'm also reaching out to your family first. Leave my family alone. You have some time this week before we'll be publishing the profile on August 9th. Do not post me, BuzzFeed. I want no association with you. I want no association with you.
Then, to top it all off, the journalist asked Trisha why bringing up Gabby Hanna makes them so upset, after they literally told her why. I think one of the most invasive questions the journalist asked was about Trisha's fertility in regards to Hila. The journalist asked Trisha to comment on the rumor that they left frenemies because they felt uncomfortable about Hila's pregnancy since they suffer from fertility issues. They said that's the question that really crossed the line. Then, a few days after Trisha made this whole video telling BuzzFeed not to contact them anymore, they contacted Trisha and their family again. Dude, I asked you to leave me alone privately and publicly. You're harassing me at this point. Stop emailing Moses, my mom, and all other relatives. She sent another email this morning. This is beyond unprofessional. You're being a creep. You're triggering me. Stop. Apparently the article is supposed to come out on August 9th, so I guess we'll have to see if that ends up happening. While we're talking about Trisha Paytas, we have to talk about this TikTok they posted this week. The TikTok was using that
"I like you, have a cupcake" sound,
and they used it with different influencers' name over it, and I was kind of surprised to see the name choices.
"I like you, have a cupcake." "I like you, have a cupcake." you. Have a cup.
So, Ethan, Shane Dawson, and Jeffree Star are all fine. But according to Trisha, David Dobrik is the worst out of all of them. They captioned the video, "Of all the people I've had beef with, there's only one truly evil, non-human reptilian I've ever come in contact with that has no remorse for anything." Which is also kind of weird because last week, Trisha said in their Enemies podcast this.
It really rubs me the wrong way. And David had a little bit of redeeming quality with his apology and also, you know, taking some time off the internet.
Anyways, people in the comments of this TikTok are kind of mad at Trisha for lumping Ethan in with the likes of Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. The only difference is Ethan actually liked you. You can't put Ethan on the same level as the other three. Ethan was the only one that cared about you. Another person pointed out how there was a time that Trisha was saying Shane was the most evil person they knew. You literally said that Shane made a deal with the devil and went on and on about how he's pure evil, and now you switched back to David? Honestly, it changes every day, so who can really keep up anymore? Now, speaking of David Dobrik, we actually have a story this week about David and his friends getting kicked out of a party. So, David Dobrik went to Lollapalooza with all the vlog squad and later held an after party. Someone from Insider actually went to the party and they ended up getting pictures of him, and it seems like he still has a ton of fans lining up to meet him and is having a great time. Well, it looks like David isn't that popular everywhere he goes. Apparently, David tried to get into a different after party and ended up being kicked out. Ethan from H3H3 posted a video titled "David Dobrik Kicked Out of Lollapalooza Party" and had inside information about what happened. According to Ethan, David was trying to get into Mark Rubier's after party. Someone from David's team reached out to this guy's touring manager to see if they could get David in. Now, Mark and Ethan are actually really good friends, so obviously Mark knows everything that's gone on with David on the internet this year, and he was like, I don't think so. Mark actually messaged Ethan asking if he should let David in or not.
He says, "Dude, I'm in a weird situation. I'm about to play the Lollapalooza after party, and apparently David Dobrik and his crew want to come see the show. Should I say no?" He said, "I rejected them, and we had the entire house of blues cheering."
So he didn't let David in, and on top of that, he actually announced to everyone there that David was trying to get in, but he doesn't let people like David into his show.
But at least there's people like Mark keeping him honest.
I wanted to get into this show. Hope he didn't get in. David Dobrik. That guy. I don't like that into my show.
Damn, Mark is such a G. He's such a legend.
I guess David isn't as popular still as he might think he is. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button because it really does help my channel, and I'll see you next time.